Hey, this is Justin with Hugo Helmer Music in Burlington, Washington. I'm excited today to introduce a new series of limited edition guitars from Taylor Guitars, the Queen's Walnut GC. I'm a firm believer that as a guitar player, you are a storyteller. Anything that can help inspire you to tell your story just makes for a better story, including the guitar you play. And this guitar has a storied history and has been a labor of love for me over the past year in its creation. This story started, like I said, I take it back. This story actually started about 90 years ago. And I'm actually going to ask Phyllis Queen, with the help of Julie Trimmingham, to help me with that story.
My name is Phyllis Johnson Queen, and we live out on Owen Road on a farm that's been in our family for 103 years. My grandmother came out to Mount Vernon in 1912 to get married. In 1913, she bought the farm where I live now. She had her first child in 1914, which was my dad. Then she had the second one, a boy. In 1918, she had to go back to Pennsylvania. Her mother got really ill, and she just had a bachelor brother back there, so he wanted to come back and help take care of the mother. And they lost their second child while they were back there. He was 2, and he had pneumonia, and then he caught scarlet fever, and he was just too young to fight it off, so they lost him. And when they started back in 1922, they bought a Ford touring car. They stopped in California, and she picked up 2 black walnuts off the ground and brought them home and planted them beside the milk house where there was lots of water, and one of them grew. It was a straight trunk up, we were little, so it was probably 6 or 7 feet tall. And then it made 4 branches come out of it. And it was hollow in the middle, and it was wide enough we could get up there and sit and play. So we'd put a ladder up there, and I had 2 brothers a year younger than me, and sister a year younger than him. And of course, we had the family dog, which was an Australian Shepherd, and he went everywhere we went. So we would coax him up the ladder, and he was up in the tree with us, and we'd sit up there and do our little kid things. And then when we went to get down, we come down the ladder, but the dog couldn't figure out the ladder, and he always had to jump out. So we got a little older, and we quit doing that. It was too hard on the dog. I was like 15 and a half, and I met him, and he could play anything with strings on it. He's one of them people you wanted to strangle. He was really talented, and he sang. We were married in '57, and Ernest got to washing the fertilizer spreader out, the commercial fertilizer that he had put on the fields. He was washing the spreader out from under it, and all at once he noticed it started growing. And I mean, every year it got bigger, so he quit that. He got kind of scared it was going to turn into the monster tree or something and devour us. In the last few years, we had to pick up a lot of dead limbs, and I would say probably a third of the limbs have died on it. So, it was an accident waiting to happen. So that's the story of the walnut tree. It was huge. And now it's going to be guitar tops or bottoms or something. I'm glad that Steve's putting it to a good cause. People will get some enjoyment out of the instruments that it goes into. So in the end, it's still helping people. It took care of us, so it's taking care of other people now. So I like that.
I hope you enjoyed that. And as I'm sure you can tell, when I was presented the opportunity to bring that wood back to this area in the form of this gorgeous guitar, it was something I couldn't pass up. For me, it's actually even a little more personal. When I was a kid working part-time in the store, I remember Ernest coming in, always wanting to talk to my dad, and them just ribbing each other back and forth about guitars, about music. So when my Taylor rep called me up about a year and a half ago, told me about the opportunity, it was something that was a no-brainer. I just jumped on it. So what we did with this guitar is we brought it to you in a grand concert 12th fret format. Body attaches at the 12th fret, a little bit shorter scale length than your typical grand auditorium. Makes it a very, very comfortable playing guitar. The big thing we wanted to do is we wanted to really showcase the wood, because that is the highlight of this guitar. Amazing grained walnut, heavy graining with incredible flame on the back, the sides, and the top. We wanted to just very nicely accent that walnut, so we decided to use Ivoroid binding and a nice ebony overlay on the headstock. I think you'll find this guitar both inspiring and just an amazing guitar to own. I hope you're able to get your hands on one of these. I'd like to especially thank Eric at Taylor and Pacific Rim Tonewoods and Julie Trimmingham for the use of their video. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much.